What's up, guys? It's me, Tiff. And I just wanted to briefly address that, as crazy as it sounds, I recently had two personal phone calls with Sam Bankman-Fried, or SBF, the former CEO of FTX. I am well aware of how outlandish this seems because who the fuck am I? I'm a fucking nobody. But I have hard evidence that all of this is true, and I'd literally be happy to testify in court under oath that I'm not lying. So, just for some context as to how this all came about, I am not a traditional journalist or reporter. I literally started this YouTube channel at the end of June this year because I had personally lost a substantial amount of money to Celsius Network. So I started posting updates on the bankruptcy proceedings on YouTube, and from there, employees began sending me leaks, such as the internal all hands meeting that I leaked to the New York Times and then posted the full audio on my YouTube channel. Well, that all happened on September 13th this year, and that's the day that SBF began following me on Twitter. We had some very brief but friendly interactions from there. A couple of our comments are probably public on Twitter, but that's where it all started, and our DMs were already open when FTX filed for bankruptcy. Well, when FTX filed for Chapter 11 bankruptcy on November 11th, I wanted to know what the fuck happened. So I figured I'd shoot my shot since our DMs were already open and ask him if he'd be willing to chat with me. I figured every major publication in the world probably is trying to get in touch with Sam, so I did not expect a response. But days later, on November 16th at around 1 a.m., I got a response. So just to let you know, I was completely unprepared for the call. I did not have questions lined up. I didn't expect to speak with him, and I was coming back from drinks, so I was a little bit tipsy, just to be completely transparent and honest with you. We also had a second phone call a couple of days ago on November 20th. I am planning to share as much information from the calls with you as possible, but to be completely honest, I do feel in a little bit over my head. I am not a traditional reporter or a journalist. In fact, this was my first time interviewing literally anybody ever, and it was fucking Sam Bankman-Fried. And he is obviously a very controversial figure right now. I feel I'm treading a very fine line of trying to maintain communication with Sam while also being sensitive to the fact that most people are very mad, rightfully so. So I'm also wary of coming off as overly sympathetic or siding with Sam because that's not the case. I am going to try to remain as neutral as possible with whatever information I share with you, but I just hope that people don't confuse intentional neutrality with naivety or sympathy. I am well aware that Sam has full incentive to not outright admit to any wrongdoing, and don't think that means that I just believe everything he tells me. I'm taking everything with a grain of salt, and I will try to relay his answers to my questions as true to his word as possible, and you can be the judge of his character, and you can come to your own conclusions about whether or not he's lying or being honest. I do think that it would be valuable to keep that line of communication open with Sam as this bankruptcy proceeding unfolds and as more information comes to light. But do please keep in mind then that I do plan on respecting what things Sam has told me not to repeat and what things he's told me in confidence, and I'm not intentionally being withholding of any information. I'm just trying to respect the boundaries here and trying to maintain that line of communication with Sam. So I am honestly feeling in a bit over my head and trying to figure out how exactly to relay this information, whether it be here or on Twitter or on Substack or on my website. I don't really know, but I'm trying to figure that all out right now. If you have any questions for me, I'd be happy to try to answer to the best of my ability. And if you have any well thought out questions that you might want to ask Sam, feel free to send them over and I can try to incorporate them if we end up hopping on another phone call. No guarantees. I really don't know how I ended up here or why Sam is talking to me, so this is all a little over my head, but I'm trying. Feel free to follow me on Twitter. I post regularly there. I also made a Substack in case I post longer form information on there, and I'll try to keep this YouTube channel updated as well. And I guess I'll just end this by saying that I'm personally skeptical of some of Sam's answers to my questions just because I don't think anyone intelligent would just outright admit to wrongdoing, so I take it all with a grain of salt. But I do think it's valuable to have some direct commentary from Sam on some of the issues we're seeing and some of the information that's come to light. So I'll try to share as much as I can, and I love you all so very much, and I'm doing my best, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye.